What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And I got a little bit of a break from all of the snow and the ice, only a day before, we have to get back to it. But today's video, we're going to talk about what's going on now with diesels, as the Trump administration said DEF is over. So what is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. You can see that beautiful Ram Limited Longhorn right there in the back, which Ram was nice enough to provide for us to do this disaster relief stuff that we got to do, bringing in the generators and whatnot. But let's get into the video. Quick break, guys. I'm out today in the M5, but I got to talk about our great sponsors here, Exter. If you've been around the channel, you already know Exter's been a part of my everyday setup for a long time, okay? This is the, whether it's the wallets or the Exter Card Holder Pro, these things are absolutely clutch. And it's still, as you can see, my daily wallet. I even grabbed one for the missus, and she's been using hers every day too. First thing you notice is just how slim it is, but it still holds everything you need. You can hold up to 14 cards and bills with no bulk at all. One button and the cards pop right up. It's super smooth, especially when you're checking out or paying for gas and don't want to hold up the line. It's all metal, made from recycled aluminum, and it blocks RFID, so you don't have to worry about wireless theft. And for my Android folks and iOS, they have these different trackers that you can get. And if you've ever set your wallet down and thought, where did I put that? You can hit a button in the app, either Android or iOS, because they make it for both. And they have this binder card for Android and iOS. And it'll slip right into the wallet. It'll make a little noise, and you can see where it's at on a map. It's actually super, super, super cool. You can toss it in your bag, or you can use it like I do. I've used a lot of their trackers to track my cars. I put them in the doors, or I throw them in the trunk. And if my car is going somewhere, I can see it where it's at. You can ring it from your phone or check its last known location on a map. It just gives you that peace of mind. And if you're traveling at this time of year, Exter's Travel Pack, the vacuum kit, has been a game changer for packing. You could fit way more into your bag, compress on the go, and keep everything sealed and protected from spills, odors, and everything else. It makes carry-on travel way less stressful and lets you fit up to 60% more in any travel bag. Plus, and if you didn't know, Exter backs all their products with a 100-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free. Exter's running their New Year sale right now with up to 48% off. And if you use my code TK20, you'll get an extra 20% off at checkout. 68% off. You really can't beat that. Hit the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. And thanks to Exter for sponsoring this part of the video. And like I said, I only deal with companies, I only promote companies or products I actually use. You guys know this. And here it is. Like I said, I use this wallet every single day. So welcome on back to TK's Garage. I got to give a major shout out to our sponsors today, Exter. I had so many people saying, well, what does this mean, TK? Like, if the Trump administration has now said DEF is no longer required, why did they do that? Well, I knew this was coming for a couple of different reasons. Remember, I talked about the different manufacturers testing deleted versions of their trucks in a consumer form, not government form, not like military form, but just regular consumer trucks like 2500 Longhorn Rams, for example, or what is the Ford one? King Ranch, Ford F-250s. They're not making those for the government. Those were consumer trucks that were deleted. They were testing them for a reason. Because if you don't think the Trump administration was already letting these CEOs and these other executives know, hey, this is what's coming down the pipe. You might want to get ahead of this and start testing some of these trucks so you can be ahead of the ball game, you're sadly mistaken, because that's exactly what happened. Now, why did they, well, you know, now that, well, let's put it like this. Now that it has come out that the president himself, which if you haven't seen that clip, let me show it to you.
I terminated the so-called diesel exhaust fluid requirement. You know what that is? Saving family farmers more than $1 billion a year. And
now that the president has come out and said, hey, look, diesel exhaust fluid no longer required, how long is it until the Trump administration goes with some of these other U.S. senators and really pushes that Diesel Liberation Act, Diesel Truck Liberation Act, and forces that into the next spending bill, budget reconciliation bill? Because that only takes 50 votes. I think they could get it done. I think they could completely strip the Clean Air Act from mobile versions of emissions. And I mean diesel trucks, gasoline cars, Cadillac, all of that shit could go away, which would, people are like, oh, it's not going to do. It would lower the price of a diesel truck, for an example, between $9,000 to $15,000. $9,000 to $15,000, depending on the size of the truck and the brand. But $9,000 to $15,000 is what you could save if you didn't have to have that bullshit on your vehicle. Not to mention, you're not having to buy a new diesel truck every 250 or 300,000 miles, because diesel trucks, when they didn't have all this crap on them, they would regularly run for 500,000 or 600,000 miles before, you know, maybe you had to fix one or two things. And some people would get 1,000,000 miles out of them regularly. I mean, I've talked about it here on the channel before. My 3500 Chevy, I think that's pre-Duramax, but it was a 1999 or 2000, I think, 3500 extend cab. It wasn't a true quad door. My dually, I got that thing with, I don't know, 100 and something thousand miles on it. I think I replaced the injector pump on it at 200 and something thousand. I put that thing had 470 something thousand miles on it before the business next door to me, who was a tow truck guy, you know, he had a truck go down from a fire and another one broke down. And I gave him my dually, and he took the bed off it and put his tow rig on it and drove it for years towing stuff. So they don't make them, obviously, like they used to. We've talked about that. But I don't think there's any reason why we don't see this continue. I do. I just don't. I don't see any reason why we don't see this continue. So I think they remove these systems. They allow deletes to happen for existing trucks, and they start offering trucks without these systems by the manufacturers themselves. I think that's where the end game is. 100%. I believe that's where the end game is. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said, guys, I don't see how we don't get fully, legal, fully deleted trucks maybe before the spring. I don't even think it's going to take that long, to be honest. I don't. But anyways, until next time, thank you guys very much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And as always, stay petty, my friends.
For the longest time. Whoa. For the longest.
Yo, Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet, Represent, got it, represent.